9 or 8 people, at least being killed in an extrajudicial manner. How is anyone, if you are level-headed? I have seen people on social media jubilate.
Jubilate over what?
Jubilate over those who have been killed. And I'm wondering how did we get here? I have seen people say, oh, you know what? These people belong to a certain political party and they've been taking the law into their own hands and they've been killed. And I'm just wondering, no. I mean, the blood in an MPP person is not purer than the blood in an NDC. And the reverse is true. Whether you like it or not, Galamsey, both NDC, MPP, NDC are guilty of, having some members within the party engage in Galamsey. And so when people die this way, and we get excited and we say, you know what, it's good they were killed, then you ask yourself, how did we get here? You have about at least 8 people getting killed. And some people who go on social media. Social media, people are insulting one another, saying that it was good, they are hoodlums, it's good they were killed, it's good. And I'm saying, no, this cannot be. This can be. On a single day, you kill 8 people, or at least 8 people, and people get a cycle. But you see, Annie, the images I'm seeing, I have not got anybody who, I have a good knowledge in ballistics. The images I'm seeing doesn't look like these people who were killed were fired at from a distance.
Close.
Very close. Because you see, if someone fires an AK-47 at an object, let's say in a cement wall, depending on how close you are, will determine the chunk that will come out, whether it will go through, depending on how
the impact of
the impact. It is the same thing. Just if you've seen an AK-47 impact in a wall, I'm using AK because that's what most people know. Fired into a wall at a close range, the impact is different from an impact that is going through someone from a distance, let's say 50 meters. And so my question is that I have seen the president's statement about, what do you call that? It should be thoroughly investigated.
Yes.
Which I think is good. Yes, it should be thoroughly investigated. But the point is that, were these people armed? I have heard a number of people say, what were they doing there? You see, as for what they were doing there, we all know why they are there. They went there, either someone employing them to go and do Galamsey, or they went there on their own accord to go and do Galamsey. And so why they were there, we already know. So it's a question that publicly, we all know why they are there. They went there to go and do Galamsey, and we all know Galamsey is illegal. But we do also know that the law does not permit, our military officers, the law does not permit our security officers to fire at people indiscriminately. And so I'm looking at the images, and some of the images I've seen, I can't really look at them, meant that some took multiple gun wounds when multiple, bullets went through them. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Close range.
Close range.
Are you analyzing it by
for
the
instance,
pictures
if you have this thing, and a bullet is fired at its close range, depending on the type of bullet, it will split. So you can see literally people's heads that are like watermelon, just exploded.
Oh, okay. So that is a close range.
You got what I'm trying to say. And so then you ask yourself, how close were they? I'm sure ballistically, those who are going to be forensically, investigating this, will be able to tell. We are also told that they were armed. So there are two things which I'm expecting the investigative team to do. You see, when I fire a weapon at someone, there's something, the residue, you see the powder, the discharge, when you discharge a weapon, you would have, sometimes it's so fast, you won't see, but you leave some residue on your fingers. You'll get to test. You know what I'm trying to say. And so, if I did it close to you, chances are that you would the
also residue, the effect of the firing.
Some of the residue, on you. These people seem to have been fired. We need to know. For what I'm seeing, it looks like either they were running or they were fired at facing the people. So if the soldiers are saying these people fired at them, either those they shot are the people who were the firers, who were firing, or some other persons behind them fired. I'm trying to analyze what I have seen. And so if they are in a line this way, and I am holding a weapon, and the soldiers are here and they fire, supposed to come to me first. So we want to find out, they only recovered BB cartridges.
Yeah.
So if I'm holding a weapon and you fired at me and I fell, touch wood, you have to recover my BB cartridges and the weapon. I don't know if you, unless of course, the BB cartridges fell out of maybe my pump action weapon. And, they took the pump action and left the BB cartridges. Or else those who were firing were behind me. And they were so good, they could stand behind me and raise their weapons this way at the soldiers and fire at them.
Okay.
Are you making sense of what I'm saying? And so there is a lot of inconsistencies.
Yes, obviously.
I'm only trying to delve into the inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Because then you recovered BB cartridges. Fair enough. You said they were firing locally manufactured weapons and pump actions. You didn't recover any of them. You shot at them.
They said they recovered 6 pump actions.
Was it there and there?
No, in the press release.
In the press release,
yeah.
Okay.
6 pump action, 6 pump action BB cartridges. Okay, you're right.
So BB cartridges are not
pump actions, yeah.
BB cartridges, we use them for the normal hunter's gun. You can use them they are for shotguns and the rest. You can use them also for some sophisticated pump actions. So if you recovered BB cartridges, I am asking you, they were firing at you, you shot at them, recovered BB cartridges, and there were no weapons recovered. And you said those who were firing at them, is it people, the 60 or so people who were maybe in a certain formation, firing at them from behind those who were killed? Are you listening to me? Behind those who were killed. And so I would want the investigators to see if I believe that they have preserved the bodies so well, so that they are able to tell, because it is easy for the police, definitely the police would have to investigate this. And during the investigation, they should be able to tell the point of impact, the approximated distance from which the weapons were fired.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who understands ballistics, the approximated distance before impact. So if I'm here, and let's say it's 10 meters from here, or I'm here and it is 2 meters from here, the impact they are able to determine that at this, and they can actually even run a test to tell the point of impact before you could see that penetration, or that's a person's head getting exploded at the point of impact. And also they should be able to duster those who have been killed, whether they were closer to anybody who was firing, and even BB cartridges even emits a lot more gunpowder. So they should be able to determine whether those who were killed actually had any gunpowder on themselves. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I'm only saying this so that the report should be able to tell us what happened.
But
because
there's a likelihood of what you're asking, the evidence should be tampered with, considering who carried the injured or the victims to the hospital.
Well, it's possible if they haven't cleaned them up.
I mean,
what I'm saying is that usually they are supposed to preserve.
Because this analysis you're making is so critical.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that so that it's also a form of educating the public, so that people just don't end up saying, oh, they were armed. we are just taking what the military said, simplicity.
Yeah.
Take it that way, whether you like it or not. But these are human beings.
Yes.
You don't want people getting killed in the hands of our own procured weapons given to soldiers. Of course, self-preservation is important. So if they were firing at the soldiers, then you say the soldiers would have the right to self-defense, isn't it? But we should be able to establish if indeed they were closer to anybody who was firing. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
Either they were the firers or they should be closer to somebody who was firing. If I'm closer to you and I'm firing, chances are that, depending on the direction of the wind, so let's say we don't know how many people were firing, but let's say 60 people, 10 of them were firing. It means that they would be in different locations. So whatever it is, some of the people who died, or most of them, should have some residue on themselves. And at the point of impact, we should know how close were these people who fired, the soldiers who fired, how close were they? Because I'm also hearing that these guys knelt down when the soldiers accosted them. I mean, these are allegations. They knelt down in a surrender form.
Really?
Yes, I'm hearing, I mean, that's why I'm saying that these are all things that needs to be investigated, because a source from Obuasi actually said these guys actually knelt down when they accosted them. They said, they mentioned I think one of the disused sites for AGA or so. So they knelt down when they accosted. I think it's happened severally. The soldiers will get there and get them away and sack them. But they knelt down and in the surrender form raised their hands, and it looks like the soldiers engaged them before they sprayed bullets into them. That is the allegation. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But in these things, you have a lot of information coming. And when you see the bullet wounds don't look like bullet wounds that someone will suffer from a distance.
A distant
from a distance.
Yeah.
This looks like very close.
Close proximity.
The person, and when you look at the type of, the bullet wounds look so similar. And it looks like either they were kneeling or they were lying, I'm not too sure. But looking at it, they took a lot of, several bullets went through.
So this investigation President is seeking to, conduct will need some very serious experts, forensic.
Yeah, so the police, they've got them.
Expertise.
They've got them. They have, the police have their ballistic units. You need, the pathologists, they will go into, and then the ballistic people will come in to do examination of this exam. They will measure the diameter. They will do, and AK-47 bullets have, they have different dimensions.
Yeah.
And so they should be able to determine whether, what exactly happened.
Okay.
So for me, I think this thing shouldn't have happened. I wouldn't, looking at what Major Mama suffered, in the hands of people, and that led to his death. You don't want anyone in uniform being hit by a bullet. But the same way, I would say that there's a lot I know, right? With regards to, I came on this program to talk about, I'm not too happy about the military setup. I wouldn't want to go there because there are a lot of things that are supposed to happen and they are happening. But I think that I won't want to delve too much. They should happen as soon as possible because the intel I'm picking is not very good. I think a lot should happen quickly because we don't want a repeat of this where we begin the year. Doesn't matter whether we have a new government that has been formed. People dying in this gory manner, and all we see, I have seen the military statement that says, if necessary, preserve life. They said one military officer took a pellet, from the Galamseyers who fired at them. I'm not too sure, because all these things are going to be investigated, and they must be investigated because from what I'm seeing, casually look at the bodies, looks like these people were shot at very close proximity. From what I'm seeing, unless of course, have you seen the injuries that they suffered?
No, I've refused to watch, but just in case you're seeing some of the, videos, they are blurred, but still viewer discretion is advised, because some of you, even with blurred photos, you are still not comfortable. So if you cannot really watch, okay, some are on your screen. But the very close impact videos,
Yes. So you can see very close, because definitely once, and I'm saying this because this is something anybody who understands ballistics, you know what, once if the people were holding guns, obviously the place is got armed officers, so they won't come close to soldiers or come close to police, so they will be at a distance. Really? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Are you sure about that though?
No, what I'm saying is that they will be at a distance, so the point of impact should look like taking that bullet from a distance.
Okay.
But when the point of distance
looks like it's close,
it's so close for comfort, then I begin to doubt myself and say, who would hold a weapon and be flashing the weapon in front of a soldier who is armed? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I have a weapon. I know there's a soldier man in this room. He has a weapon. And the soldier knows that if I get him, I'll kill him. And I come so close.
Okay.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Okay.